Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. Let's think about this for a moment. How often do we overlook the small actions, thinking they don't matter? How many times have you thought, what's the use? This little thing won't change anything. But what if I told you that small actions are the very seeds of greatness? What if I told you that every major success you've ever heard of started with a small, seemingly insignificant action? Have you ever heard the saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step? It's true. That first step might seem tiny, almost trivial, but it's the beginning of something much larger. It's the start of a process that leads to a significant outcome. I want to ask you, what small actions are you taking today that could lead to something remarkable tomorrow? Think about it. Maybe it's making a single phone call, reading a chapter of a book, or even just deciding to smile more. These might seem like small, inconsequential steps, but they can set off a chain reaction of positive events in your life. Let's bring this closer to home. Imagine you're in your garden. You plant a tiny seed, water it, and give it some sunlight. At first, it seems like nothing is happening. Days go by, and you might wonder if your efforts are in vain. But then one day, you see a small sprout breaking through the soil. That tiny seed, with a little care and attention, grows into a beautiful flower or a sturdy tree. The key is consistency and patience. Do you see it's the same in our lives? Small actions repeated consistently lead to significant outcomes. The small things we do every day, those little habits and decisions, they add up over time. They shape our future. They define our success. So I ask you again, what small actions can you take today? What tiny steps can you start with right now that will lead you towards your goals? It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the big picture, but remember, every big picture is made up of small individual strokes. When I was a young man, I struggled with my finances. I was deep in debt. It felt like there was no way out. But then I started making small changes. I began saving a little bit of money each week, cutting down on unnecessary expenses, and learning about financial management. It didn't happen overnight, but those small actions taken consistently led to financial freedom. What if I had dismissed those small actions thinking they were too insignificant to matter? I wouldn't be standing here today sharing this with you. It was those small, consistent steps that changed everything for me. Just don't underestimate the power of small actions. Embrace them. Cherish them. Understand that they are the building blocks of your future. Whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your relationships, those little steps you take each day will lead you where you want to be. Let me share a little story from my own life. The story that changed everything for me. It's a story about small actions and how they can lead to big results. It all started when I was a young man, trying to find my way in the world. I was 25 years old, married, with a little family to support, and I was broke. And I don't mean just a little short on cash. I mean broke. I had too much month left at the end of the money, if you know what I mean. I remember creditors calling, bills piling up, and the stress of trying to make ends meet. I felt like I was running on a hamster wheel, working hard but getting nowhere. One day, as I was sitting in my small, cramped apartment, feeling sorry for myself, I realized that something needed to change. I knew I couldn't keep doing the same things and expect different results. But where to start? The problem seemed so big, and I felt so small. It was overwhelming. Then I had a conversation that would change my life forever. I met a man named Mr. Schoaf, a mentor who saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. He told me something simple but profound. He said, Jim, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. I thought about that. A few simple disciplines practiced every day. Could it really be that simple? Mr. Schoaf explained that it wasn't about making huge, drastic changes overnight. It was about making small, consistent actions that would accumulate over time. So I started small. I began saving a little bit of money each week. Now, when I say a little, I mean a little. Just a few dollars. It didn't seem like much, but it was a start. And let me tell you, saving those few dollars was tough. It meant saying no to small pleasures like a cup of coffee or a movie ticket. But I was determined. As I kept practicing these small disciplines, I started to see changes in my life. I got a promotion at work. My finances improved. I was less stressed and more confident. People started to notice the changes in me, and that opened up new opportunities. One day, I was invited to speak at a small business meeting. Now, if you had told me a year earlier that I'd be giving a speech, I would have laughed. But there I was, sharing my story and the lessons I had learned. It was a small audience, but it felt like a big moment for me. Just after the meeting, a gentleman came up to me and said, "Jim, your story really inspired me. You helped me get started on my own path to success." I was taken aback. Me? Help someone else? But then I realized, yes, I could help. I had learned valuable lessons, and I could share them, and that's how my career as a speaker and mentor began. It started with small action, saving a few dollars, reading a few pages, writing down a few goals. Those small actions led to big changes in my life. They opened doors I never knew existed. You see, my friends, the power of small actions is immense. Each small step you take builds upon the last, creating a foundation for success. It's like planting seeds in a garden. At first, it seems like nothing is happening, but with time, those seeds sprout and grow into a lush, bountiful garden. So I encourage you to think about your own life. What small actions can you start taking today that will lead to big outcomes tomorrow? Maybe it's making a phone call you've been putting off, or taking a short walk each day to improve your health. Maybe it's spending a few extra minutes with your loved ones, or learning a new skill. Whatever it is, start today. Start small, and keep going. Let's discuss about the power of habits. Habits, those little things we do every day without thinking, are incredibly powerful. They shape our lives, our futures, and our destinies. The good news is we have the power to choose our habits. The even better news is that small daily habits can lead to long-term success. Still, and imagine for a moment your daily routine. What do you do first thing in the morning? Do you reach for your phone, scroll through social media, and then rush to get ready for the day? Or do you take a moment to reflect, maybe jot down a few thoughts in a journal, and plan your day? These small actions, repeated daily, can have a profound impact on your life. What if you decide to start your day with a simple habit like making your bed? It might seem trivial, but making your bed sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. It gives you a sense of accomplishment first thing in the morning. It's a small act of discipline that can lead to a more organized and productive day. And a productive day, repeated consistently, can lead to a successful life. Imagine you want to improve your health. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet and start running marathons right away. Instead, start with a small habit like drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. It's just one glass of water. It hydrates your body, kickstarts your metabolism, and sets the tone for healthier choices throughout the day. From there, you can add another small habit like taking a short walk after lunch. These small habits add up over time, leading to significant improvements in your health. I want you to think about a goal you have. Maybe it's improving your finances, enhancing your relationships, or advancing in your career. Whatever it is, break it down into small, manageable habits. If your goal is to save money, start by saving just a small amount each week. It doesn't have to be a lot. The key is consistency. Over time, those small savings will grow, and you'll develop the habit of saving, which can lead to financial security. Let's make this interactive. I want you to take a moment and think about one small habit you can start today that will bring you closer to your goal. It could be something as simple as reading 10 pages of a book each day, practicing gratitude by writing down 3 things you're thankful for, or spending 5 minutes each day learning a new skill. Now hold on to that thought. We'll come back to it. Now you might be wondering, how do these small habits lead to major life changes? It's all about the principle of compound interest. Just like money in a savings account grows over time due to compound interest, our small daily habits compound over time, leading to significant results. It's the small, consistent actions that create momentum and drive long-term success. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a small habit, something you do every day without thinking. But imagine the consequences if you stop brushing your teeth for a month. your dental health would deteriorate rapidly. On the flip side, maintaining this small habit consistently ensures good dental health. The same principle applies to other areas of your life. How can you ensure you stick with it? One effective strategy is to link your new habit to an existing one. For example, if you want to start reading each day, link it to your bedtime routine. If you want to practice gratitude, do it right after you brush your teeth in the morning by anchoring your new habit to an existing one. You're more likely to stick with it. Another strategy is to track your progress. Keep a simple journal or use an app to record your daily habits. Seeing your progress, even if it's just a check mark on a calendar, can be incredibly motivating. It reinforces the positive behavior and helps you stay committed. Discussing a universal experience, overcoming obstacles. You know those pesky roadblocks that seem to pop up just when we're about to take action. We've all been there. You set a goal, you're excited, you're ready to go, and then, bam, something gets in the way. Maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's self-doubt, or maybe it's just the chaos of everyday life. So how do we overcome these obstacles and keep moving forward? Let's dive into that. First, let's tackle procrastination. Or procrastination, the thief of time. How many times have we said, I'll do it tomorrow, only to find that tomorrow never comes? We delay, we put things off, and before we know it, weeks or even months have passed. So why do we procrastinate? Often it's because the task seems too big, too overwhelming. But here's a little secret, break it down. One strategy is to prioritize. Ask yourself, what are the most important things I need to do today? Focus on those first. And don't try to do everything at once. Remember, small, consistent actions are more effective than trying to tackle everything at once. So how can you carve out time for your goals? Maybe it's waking up a little earlier. Maybe it's turning off the TV in the evening. Find those small pockets of time and use them wisely. Remember, it's not about finding hours of free time. It's about making the most of the time you have. And finally, let's talk about perseverance. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't go as planned. We face setbacks, failures, and challenges. It's easy to get discouraged and give up, but the key to success is perseverance. It's about keeping going, even when things get tough. Diving into practical advice, consider how incorporating small actions into daily routines can significantly enhance one's overall productivity and well-being. You see, it's one thing to understand the importance of small actions, but it's another to actually integrate them into our lives. So let's talk about some steps and tips to make this happen. Let's consider our daily routines. How do we spend our time from the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed? If we take a close look, we'll probably find a few pockets of time that could be used more effectively. Now, I'm not talking about overhauling your entire schedule. I'm talking about finding small windows of opportunity where you can insert productive habits. For example, mornings are powerful because they set the tone for the rest of the day. What if you woke up just 15 minutes earlier? That extra time could be used for something positive, like reading, exercising, or planning your day. It might not seem like much, but those 15 minutes, day after day, can make a big difference. One of my favorite techniques is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. This helps you tackle small tasks right away instead of letting them pile up. It's amazing how much you can accomplish with this simple rule. It keeps your to-do list manageable and prevents procrastination. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes we get stuck because we try to do everything on our own. Don't be afraid to seek advice, delegate tasks, or collaborate with others. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and working together can help us achieve more. Finally, let's talk about the power of consistency. Small actions taken consistently lead to significant outcomes. It's like planting a seed. You water it a little bit every day, and over time, it grows into a strong, healthy plant. The same goes for our habits and goals. Consistency is key. Ask yourself, what small action can you commit to every day? Maybe it's reading for 10 minutes, going for a short walk, or practicing gratitude. Whatever it is, commit to it and do it consistently. Over time, you'll see the results. Slurry gang, engage in a discourse concerning the profound ramifications of the ripple effect. When you drop a pebble into a pond and you see those ripples spreading out, reaching further and further, our actions are like those pebbles. Even the smallest action can create ripples that reach far beyond what we can see. Have you ever done something small for someone, only to find out later that it made a big difference in their life? Maybe you gave a compliment, offered a helping hand, or just listened when they needed to talk. These small acts of kindness and consideration can have a profound impact, not just on the person you helped, but on everyone they interact with afterward. Now you might think, what's the big deal about saying good morning? But that small action had a ripple effect. It improved Sarah's mood, which in turn affected her interactions with others. The workplace became a friendlier, more collaborative place because of one small habit. That's the power of the ripple effect. Imagine you decide to start recycling at your house. It's a small action, right? But then your neighbors see you doing it and decide to start recycling too. Soon, the whole street is recycling. Then the community takes notice and implements better recycling programs. Your one small action has now created a ripple effect, benefiting the environment and educating others about sustainability. You see, we often underestimate the power of our small action. We think, what difference can one person make? But the truth is, every action counts. Every pebble we throw into the pond creates ripples that spread out and touch others in ways we may never fully understand. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. We've explored the immense power of small actions and how they can lead to significant outcomes in our lives. We've talked about the importance of small daily habits like making your bed or drinking a glass of water in the morning, and how these simple practices can set the foundation for greater success. We also delved into overcoming obstacles, such as procrastination and self-doubt. We learned that breaking tasks into smaller steps can make them more manageable, and that taking action, even when we're unsure, is crucial for building confidence and momentum. Remember the story of Michael and his cheerful greetings. It showed us how small acts of kindness can transform not just our lives, but the lives of those around us, creating a ripple effect of positivity. And speaking of the ripple effect, we saw how individual actions, no matter how small, can spread far and wide, influencing others and even impacting larger communities. Whether it's Rosa Parks' act of defiance or Malala Yousafzai's advocacy for education, these examples remind us that small actions, when done with purpose and conviction, can change the world. So what does all this mean for you? It means that every small action you take matters. It means that you have the power to create positive change in your life and in the lives of others, one small step at a time. It means that success is not about making huge leaps overnight, but about making consistent, small steps every day. What small action can you commit to today? Maybe it's setting a goal for the week, reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, or starting a new healthy habit. Whatever it is, take that first step. Remember, it's the small actions that build up over time and lead to significant outcomes. As you go forward, keep in mind the power of consistency. Just like planting a seed and watering it daily, your consistent efforts will eventually bear fruit. Stay patient, stay persistent, and stay positive. Your small actions will create ripples that extend beyond what you can see. In closing, let me leave you with this thought. Every great accomplishment started with a single small step. The most successful people are those who understand the power of small actions and use them to build their dreams. You have that power within you. Use it. Take those small steps, make those small changes, and watch as they lead to significant outcomes in your life.